Okay, today I'm going to make some olive leaf tablets or pills. And powdered olive leaf is very good for killing colds, flus, bacteria, viruses, and even yeasts in your body. And if you want, you can buy the gelatin capsules that are empty online, such as Amazon. But you don't even have to buy those. You can just use the dry powders mixed with water and form your own pills. So what I'm going to do here is I have 9 parts powdered olive leaf right here, and I'm going to add 1 part powdered marshmallow root. And I made the mistake of buying the cut and sifted marshmallow root, so I just put a bunch of it in my food processor and pulverized it. And it's nice and fluffy. And if you don't have the food processor, you can also do the same thing with a mortar and pestle. So next time I'll buy the powdered. So I'm going to mix them well. And then I'm going to slowly add just enough water so it's like Play-Doh consistency. And I have washed my hands because I'm going to be forming these pills in my hand. So it's slowly getting there. It's easier to add a little bit more water than to have them too wet, and then they just fall apart. And these pills you can air dry or put them on a low oven, such as like 250 degrees Fahrenheit, or even put them in a dehydrator if you have one. Okay, I think we're getting there. So I think it's about right. So now I'm going to start mixing them with my hands. And I'll show you some that I did several months ago. I just have a few left. And at the time I think they were too wet and I was in a hurry. And so they kind of came out funny shaped. These are them dried. And these can store up to 2 years if you keep them in a cool, dry place. And I just put mine in a Ziploc bag. And depending on the humidity, they'll only take a day or 2 to dry. And once they're completely dry, you can store them somewhere. You don't want them wet when you store them, otherwise they will go moldy. And the general idea is to make them about the same size and shape as a tablet you would normally take. And they don't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to lay them on some tin foil to dry. The first time I made some at home, I put them on a paper towel to dry, which worked really well. But when I went to remove them from the paper towel, they were sticking a little bit. I'd say just use whatever you have. Okay, and this will make quite a few. Almost like playing with Play-Doh. And you can even take a toothpick and poke some holes in them a little bit to help them dry faster if you want. And I discovered that these are very bitter. They don't taste good at all. So when you go to take a couple, put one in your mouth and take a big drink of water, and then leave it sit in your mouth for just like 30 seconds, and then it'll totally dissolve and you can swallow it easy. If someone in your home doesn't like to swallow pills, just let them dissolve in the water for a minute, not even a minute, and then you can swallow the whole thing. And it doesn't taste too great, not too bad. They can always have a little bite to eat afterwards, especially if it's a child. Okay. So most of your herbs will stay good in storage if they're not powdered, but you can powder them just before you use them. Or for something like this and you want to make a bunch of these ahead of time before the fall and winter cold and flu season, you can buy them you can buy it powdered if you think you're going to use it fast enough. Some of these are kind of large. And that is how you do your own powdered tablets. And that's all.